Hopefully, I did Smitty Eagle justice, girl. But welcome to another edition of Blitz Take Leader Edition with Leader Johnson and your boy Cool Cat Connor. What up, Leader?
What's going on, man? How you been doing, man?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. Getting ready for training camp. Getting ready for my birthday coming in 2 weeks, and getting ready for the season, man. So, yeah.
I am your most Leader Johnson here, man, doing things at a high level. That's what we do. And this is the State of the Eagles. We are here. We're going to bring y'all some things. The safety position, we're going to break down that. Nolan Smith talking inside the mics and more. What's
Start
going
us
on,
off,
Cool?
Leader. It's on you. It's your edition of Blitz Take, Broad. It's your edition of Broad Street Blitz Take, so it's on you. What we talking? Start us off.
The first thing I'm going to start off with the safeties. We're going to get off at the safeties. The safeties is a good position, better. They've progressed, evolved. Even from the first Super Bowl with Malcolm Jenkins and Roddy McLeod. Good squad. I think people are just, it's always not knowing. Last year, the defense not knowing. That was the big thing, not knowing if they was going to be good, if these young guys was ready. Sidney Brown is ready, but he still has to show you. And as we heard from Ed Kratz, they like Makuba. He's right behind him in the depth chart. That's what the depth chart looked like. Tristan McCullum is right behind Reed Blankenship. And you got Lewis Seen, he's behind Makuba. And so that's how that's going. They got Andre Sam. It's guys, and you got Maxine Hook from Toledo, the guy who played with Quinyon Mitchell. It's a competitive field, but to be real, it's Makuba and Brown. That's the focal point. That's the one they're looking at. Brown.
You think Sidney Brown gonna step up? You think Sidney Brown gonna step up this season?
I believe in him like I do Keely Ringo. I remember hearing I'm in Kratz and talking, and we've been talking about it. We know they like Makuba, but I think Brown show up. He always shows up. I think the 1 year he was hurt. Remember, he was hurt that 1 year, then he came back in 2024, and he was there. But it was already C.J. Gardner-Johnson, so he had to play his position. He was a good special teamer. He forced a fumble that made Ringo return for a touchdown. He was a good. It's time. He's ready. Runs a 4.4, vertical and jumping guy. Lewis Seen runs a 4.3. And this guy jumps a 40-inch vertical. He's one of the top recruits. He was a defensive MVP of a national championship. We were forgetting about that. So I just want to see how this bubbles out, how it happens. Remember, we had some surprises. Remember, we had who was it? The linebacker last year, Zach Bonby, and I'm forgetting about him. Is it Devon? What was it? The one middle linebacker. And it's crazy. I'm forgetting the one guy that was supposed to be our starting middle linebacker, and he came from Tampa Bay. And he was drafted like number 5th overall. This guy LSU. But listen, Zach Bond beat him. Because that was supposed to be. He got on to pivot and was talking a lot about how him and Jalen Hurts and how they got close and how they was, like he was gonna be on the team.
Yep.
But Zach Bond beat him out. It's just how it happens. N'Kobe Dean came back off injury. We just got to see how this safety position plays out. We know Reed is good. Reed don't get enough credit. Reed is he has clutch hands, physical guy. Ever since and he wasn't even drafted. Speaking of exciting mics, we'll get to that, but he wasn't even drafted. So talking about the safety position, I think it's just something to see what happens between Brown, Makuba, and Seen. They like Andre Sam. They like McCullum. Those are two guys they like, but let's be real. They're way behind on these guys. Lewis Seen was signed for a reason. He's a Fangio's type of guy, very physical. Drafted in the first round, Minnesota. Just watch out for him. I keep on saying, I don't know if he's going to become the starter. I don't know how much snaps he's going to get, but he's going to be a good special teamer. He's going to be on the team, and he's a guy that could surprise people. He really could. So that's a good. I always want to talk about this position. Always on record talking about this position. This is the big battle here. When and in camp, you want to hear about other stuff. The tight end battle is pretty good at number 2. Grant Calcaterra and Callie Granson. Granson's impressing. Mm-hmm. He's the one. So that's interesting to see. We'll see how Nick Muse is doing things at tight end. It's interesting to see. We'll see what that second one's going to be good. It's good to know we're going to have. I think we'll have a good 1, 2, 3 when one guy's called on, like the Eagles when they had Brent Selleck. They had Zach Ertz, Brent Selleck, and they had Trey Burton.
Yep.
These three guys, when Trey Burton number was called, whether it was a touchdown he had to throw or catch the ball or tackle on special teams, Trey Burton was just good. So I just think Philly's doing something, and things are bubbling up. And talk about camp, those guys are Jalen Hunt. You keep hearing about him, Raven doing unbelievable things in camp. Unbelievable things in camp. Ty Robinson's impressing in camp. Guys are starting to step up. You're starting to see guys show out. So it's going to be. Those are the guys you're hearing about more and more. The offensive line, as we heard from Ed Kratz on here, is continuing. Like guys are doing good. Kendall Lamb's doing good. Drew Kendall's doing good. Cameron Williams looks good. Miles Hinton looks good. These guys are doing good. Not to mention what Trevor Keegan did last year. I mean, you just don't hear the hype because you want to talk about the new guys first. But Trevor Keegan's another guy you want to look at, and they still got Matt Pryor. So it's good to know you're going to have somebody protecting your quarterback and for the running game to get yards. It just sounds good. Like everybody's and exciting mics. We'll talk about that in a minute. It was really, really good to see. Just to see the camp, the way the camp's doing it this time. Like, Hurts was doing this thing in camp, but he also had questions too. Hurts just wanted to know. You could tell he had the questions where, what's going on?
Yeah,
He
what
had
up,
questions.
Kevin? How you doing? How you doing, Kevin? How you doing, Eagle Girl? What up, Shakita? Jalen Hurts MVP. We already know Jalen freaking Hurts. Come on now, but go ahead, leader.
It's just good to see. Like he was doing good in camp, but he still had to get to know Clemens. He wasn't even sure. He always tells the truth. So, but this year, this camp, he's sharp. He's sharp. Like the way he's throwing to the guys now, he's focusing on the new guys. You know how it was always Brown Smith. You only hear a little bit now. You hear about him getting used to the new guys. How he's good with Dan. Going over with Danny, he was going with him. Then you're talking about Terrace Marshall. You're talking about Jahan Dotson, and Nia Smith still shows up. People still wonder about Johnny Wilson.
Yep.
But then you're looking at the defense. Barkley's looking good. Barkley's looking real good. Carter's looking good, and he's giving compliments like he gave compliments to Ty Robinson. Like guys are being leaders. Nolan Smith is everywhere. Got the key to the city and his town in Georgia. One thing I want to mention, if y'all Sean McCoy fans, he did something big, did something real good. He gave back to Harrisburg, opened up some housing developments, helping people out there. It's just a rough neighborhood. He's from the Harrisburg area, and that was real big of him to do.
Yeah.
Real. That's one of my favorite Eagles of all time, top 3. So that was good to see him do that, and bringing it back to PA, bringing it back home. That was good.
Yep.
Looking at Saquon Barkley had a. If y'all go to the Philadelphia Eagles, subscribe to the Philadelphia Eagles page. Saquon Barkley talked about his historical season. It was crazy when they won against New Orleans. I didn't recognize Smitty had got knocked out that game. Anybody remember that Smitty got knocked out that game and he was like, messed up in the head. And that next play is when Barkley did that 65-yard. He was like, they was all wanting to get people back for Smitty. He said that's how they came together as a team. That's when he knew they was a team, because it was Fred Johnson made a good block and Tyler Steen. Then he was talking about how the other side, when you had Mulata and all them and Cam Jurgens and Landon, and he made the move with his speed, because the thing is, his speed is so crazy, right? Like they block so good, it only takes a second for Barkley to get in their hole, because that's 2 elite people. You got elite line and you got Barkley. It's only a second before Barkley is out of here. You can't blitz. So he's that type. It's good. Look at how Miles Sanders did. Look at how Swift did. They had 1,000 yards, right? But they didn't do it like Barkley. They didn't do it. That's the difference between great and good. That's just it. Like that's just it. So it's really going to be exciting to see with the depth in offensive line and the way guys are doing, and Lane Johnson, the way he's talked about in exciting mics. We'll talk about that, but it's big. It's real big. This team looks like they're mentally like ready. Like this like everybody's on point.
Exactly.
No hangover.
Yep. For me, on continuing on with the safety position, I hear what you're saying. I like Andrew Makuba. Sidney Brown, I need to see it. I need to see it a little more, but I think he can step up. And when Reed Blankenship, I already know what I got from him. Like, I know what I already got from Reed Blankenship. So for me, right. So for me, it's like unless something pops up, which I highly doubt. Stick with what you got. Like, stick with what you got in the safety position. That's for me. Eagles are a home raised team, but yet we are a super team.
Yeah. I know what he's talking about. He feels like super teams are built off free agency and with money, everybody else. But no, they're still a super team because they develop people so good. Do you realize how many people they get from Reed Blankenship to TJ Edwards that are undrafted and they do good? They got Moro Ojomo in the 7th round. That was the same draft they got Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. And then we forget Keely Ringo. That draft was crazy. That draft was crazy. Like, if they just do good at developing too. You just got to count that. And it's a super team because a lot of these guys would like Josh Sweat. He was like number 7 in high school, number 7 player out of high school. They developed guys, Cooper DeJean and Quinyon. No matter how good you are, is there a guarantee you're going to be good in the first year? But they were.
No,
I'm just saying, like they do a good job.
Yep. So let's go ahead and let's get. Yep. So let's go ahead and hold on. No, I'm saying Mia call a super team, but none of our players are top 10. Well, that's their opinion.
What players aren't top 10? What you talking about? Jalen Hurts? Or you talking about AJ Brown? You talking about Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley? You talking about Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata? Who's not? Who doesn't have top 10? Jalen Carter and Quinyon Mitchell. If you talk about it, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, they're rookies, so it's understandable you don't want to put them there. But they stopped top 10 players. They stopped top 5 players.
Yep.
I'm just saying. Who's not? Was C.J. Gardner wasn't the top 10 last year? 6 interceptions. Darius Slay wasn't. I mean, you just gotta. I'm just saying, you gotta. In the playoffs, how about in the playoffs? Who was better than Nolan Smith? Who was better than Jalen Carter? St. Louis Rams game. They had like over 70 snaps. I'm just saying. Who's saying they don't have top? Some players aren't. They just stop top 5 guys. But there's so many top 10 players on Philadelphia. It's unbelievable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yep. But go ahead. Let's get to the exciting mics because you've been. What's up? One of the exciting mics that caught your attention, leader.
It's a good show, man. I like how they're doing it. They're taking advantage of their hype. That was good. And we got Nolan Smith is smart. He's going to be a leader more and more. He talks about, always learning from Brandon Graham. He's always talking about that, and he has that energy with him.
Leader? Okay. So while we wait for him, how y'all feeling? While we wait for leader to pop up to talk about the exciting mics, how we feeling? 70 days away till kickoff, y'all. 70 days till kickoff. While we wait for leader, I need y'all to do me a favor. My birthday's coming in 2 weeks. Right? For my birthday, can we get them likes up? Can we get them subscribers up? My birthday's coming in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Saturday. I don't ask y'all for much. Right? I really don't. I don't ask y'all for much. right? I know a lot of people gonna say, "Do you want some money? Do you want this, that?" I want Birds of Broad Street to be the best YouTube channel in the game. The best way to do that is y'all get them likes up. Simple as that. The best way to help me out on my birthday is Birds of Broad Street. That's all you gotta do. Click that link. Click that link. That's all I want for my birthday. It's Birds of Broad Street to be the best, not arguably the best podcast YouTube channel in the game. That's always been the dream. All right, one more time. That's all I ask. There's a lot of things I want on my birthday. Birds of Broad Street being the best is one of them. And we got the best people to do it. All right. Still waiting for leader. Not arguably, we got the best. We got Simone Staley. We got One Trey Rock. We got Smitty Eagle. We got Alex, Steve, leader, and of course yours truly. That's all I want for my birthday. Get them likes up and subscribe to. That's all I ask. So, let's see what leader's doing. All right. So how are we feeling as we wait for leader to pop up? How are we feeling knowing that we're 70 days away? How are we feeling? So I can't wait. I can't. So, just waiting for leader. And for me, the fact that Nolan Smith gonna be a legend in this he's gonna be a legend. But Nolan Smith is gonna be a legend. Not as big as legend as Roman Reigns. I mean, but he gonna be a legend. Do 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 do. Let me let Lord Brunson know what's up. While we wait for him, y'all know what we're gonna watch.
Run Paulo here, because we've been throwing the ball a lot.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off, it's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak!
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott! Trying to feed the ball. Trying to feed the C-Lamb! Trying to feed the C-Lamb! You trying to feed the C-Lamb!
They screwed. Like, they screwed. We know they screwed. Them Cowboys are screwed. I made a video. Huh? They screwed. They are screwed. That's what I can't. I made a video letting the Cowboy fans know as we wait for the leader. Y'all screwed. Y'all screwed. They screwed. They screwed. I'm gonna whoop their ass. They are screwed. They know they is. That's why they begging Jerry and Stephen Jones to do something, but it won't work. Jerry and Stephen Jones right now is on vacay. They're on vacay. Right? Jerry and Stephen Jones on vacay. They ain't gonna do nothing. They screwed. All right. Let's get Lita back on here. All right, Lita, what you were saying on Exciting Mics? Mike's.
I'm back, y'all. Sorry, man. Camera had to make a run camera, but we here. Listen, Exciting Mics, it was a real good thing to see the team and how they talk to each other. Real good together team. And the one thing I want to say about Nolan Smith, it just seems like he want to take that next step. He's one of the guys besides Jalen Hunt, besides Jalen Carter. You can hear how they talk, how they complimenting players. It's how the culture is milking into other people. You know, when he came into the draft, there was so many questions they said about Jalen Carter. But now it's different. He's a totally different monster. He's the guy everybody projected. The number one guy in that draft. It was crazy for him to go down to 10. One thing I want to come and interrupt, we're going to do a thing called, pass interference. That's what we do here. Other news that's not part of here, I want to say congratulations to the Philadelphia 76ers for getting VJ Edgecombe, number third overall pick. To tell y'all just real quick, but because I have something with Follow Leader, we'll do that because we're not going to go there. And this is the Eagles here. But Edgecombe is good. Number 5 prospect in the nation coming out of high school. He's good. All right. We'll talk more about that on Follow Leader. But to go back to Exciting Mics, I just feel like this defense will be better this year. This team will be better. And the way they talked about it and where he talked about how he learns. He talked about Lane Johnson. It was real key. He said Lane Johnson is the best tackle in football.
Yes.
He said Lane Johnson plays against all the elite people. He said he teaches them. He said they learn off. He said he tells them when he does stuff wrong. He said what offensive lineman tells you how to beat other offensive linemen? Like he tells you how to beat him. Like but it's not like you're going to do it. Like he tells you he's so good. He tells you how to beat elite offensive lineman. He said him and Mailata are the reason why he's good as he is now. He said Mailata's another one. He said these guys use their hands and they have IQ. And he said, you look at Mailata, he's so strong. He said sometimes he grabs him and he says, hold on, man. He said that's that rugby strength. You know, that's what he says about him. So Nolan Smith is a guy that's talking and he's ready to have that 10-sack year. I remember saying last year, like y'all talk about Micah Parsons, but we got one with Nolan. You know, we got one with Nolan, and Nolan's going to take that net, and him and Hunt on each side, like that's crazy. You still got Aziz. They're talking about him in camp. They're talking about Uche in camp. Lane Johnson gives Uche a lot of credentials, and that's big when Lane Johnson is giving you a lot of credentials. That's real big. And you look at these guys right now and what they're doing. It's a little bit, open field to see just how good this team's really going to be. Saquon Barkley, he was, like I say, he was looking at all his key plays that he did over the season. You know, the game where he ran in the snow, the game where Smitty got knocked out, the game where he had 2,000 yards. And I forgot, that was the Dallas game When he eclipsed 2,000, I'm like, man, Dallas really got smacked up last year. Oh my God, you're talking about beat up then, and then you're talking about the 2,000 yard. You're talking, oh my God, then the backup quarterback and third string throws on you. This is Dallas. I've never seen it like that. You got to say this team is special, at least if you're a football guy. This team, the coaches get all the players ready to play their best football. That's just what it is. Kenny Pickett got traded, but got trade value. You know, you look at Tanner McKee. You know how many people wanted to trade? I think it was a rumor. New Orleans wanted him. Kellen Moore wanted Tanner McKee. I mean, I'll tell y'all he's good. He just didn't go to the right school. Tanner McKee had all the credentials, top 50 high school talent. Like that's another. It's been real good evolving and drafting, because now Philly, you have to be scared if you're a general manager when you see Philly call you, or when you see it's their draft time. But they got the right coaches. Like this is a good time. This is a season, though, I think it's really going to prove what Philadelphia is about. I really think it's a repeat, but we'll talk more about that. I wanted to ask you, Cool Cat.
Go ahead.
On a perspective part, we're looking at Jalen Hurts, and we're looking at what he's now. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying this off speculation, and we know what he's doing, what he's going on, with who he is.
Acknowledge me!
There's no way you're elite, right? And you go into the season. Look at SGA. Now you look at SGA, he gets a ring. He goes, and now everybody got to give him that respect. You look at guys that get that ring. Hurts is going to win the MVP this year. I think he wins it this year because everybody else has gotten better. Barkley is a 2,000-yard guy, so every offense is going to come in zeroed in on Barkley. Now, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, who's back, which is a big key, him being back. No matter who we got, I think they would have had a productive year, but they wouldn't have been Dallas Goedert, not the first year. So you got him back, that's big, with A.J. Brown. And then you got Jahan Dotson, who was getting that little chemistry coming in the late part. Like, so it's scary. And then you got Grant. I don't care what nobody says. Grant Calcaterra is somebody you worry about. He proved it last year. He proved it. Like, he was a weapon last year. So, and if nobody remembers, Jalen Hurts played with him in Oklahoma. That's his guy. That's just not like no guy he don't know. That he played with him at Oklahoma. You know, CeeDee Lamb was received also at Oklahoma. Kennedy Brooks, who used to be here on the practice squad with Philadelphia, was a good runner, was also there. So that's when Hurts had a Heisman Trophy type year. Like, he almost got it. He ran for 1,000 yards. He threw for 4,000. And nobody remembers this guy. Like, he was in the freshman season with Alabama. That's all I'm gonna say. Just look it up. I'm sorry. Some things you just need to look up. This guy. And so now you get the Super Bowl. After he got the Super Bowl, you know, they changed coaches. People got hype, you know, Shane Steichen and them guys got known. And Jalen had to learn with other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he still had them at 11-1 at one time. Was 10-1. And then they kind of collapsed near 6 games, you know what I mean? So,
yep.
So nobody, but he was hurt. Did anybody remember this? He was hurt that year.
He was hurt.
He was playing hurt, and I'm like, all right. So nobody's gonna talk about that. It's like he's the guy you're gonna talk about when his career is over, like LeBron. Like, it's crazy. And then we come back, and he says he has the screensaver on his phone. He never leaves. That doesn't say a dog. Doesn't tell you that's a dog. And then the next thing you know, here comes the season where the coaches. We talked about the coaches, and the coaches were changed. Everybody talked about the coaches. I don't care. Nobody say if it wasn't for the coaches, that would have been a better season. It was clearly not smart play calling. The defense clearly was not coached right. It just wasn't coached right. So now you get this season, and everything's put in place, and Jalen gives you it. He delivers.
Yep.
He didn't remember. It was like 7. I think it was 15 interceptions. Did he have 5? He had 5. I just think, I like to talk about the person they want to consider underdog, but doesn't let you know he's an underdog. Like, that's we got the perfect guy. He's the perfect guy for Philly.
Yep.
Philly's like, everybody want to, they forget who Philadelphia is in history of everything from sports and music, especially. Declaration of Independence was signed here. It was the capital of the United States at one time. Philadelphia has its big presences everywhere. So you doubt Jalen, and he gives it to you. Nick Sirianni, it's the perfect combination. They both got to prove it to you, and they want to prove it to you. So I just feel like
for me with Jalen, y'all know where I stand. Like, do I want him to have 30 touchdowns and 4,000 yards passing? Yeah. Do I really? On the other hand, I just want my boy to win. That's all I care about. I don't care if he throws for 4,000 yards or 1 yard. Win.
Question is there a quarterback going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback again? Just a sports question for a sports reporter right there. Who is it? It's Duke.
That's you can answer that question. Is there a quarterback going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback again?
Yeah, he's basically giving where I'm getting that from that. He's basically asking the question. If people doubt Jalen, but look at his record.
46-20 as a starter, ladies and gentlemen. As a starter, 46-20. Jalen freaking Hurts. Come on, go ahead, Lee.
Can we give the first playoff year right? Remember when they were 9-8. That team, who would have got that team to 9-8? I think people talk about because he got these players and he's like, oh, he got the team. Well, that's what a good front office is supposed to do. I'm sorry, your front office.
They always say, look at the players around, and we got the best wide receiver trio.
Remember 9-8?
He got the best running back. He got the best offensive line. He got the best defense. He got the best general manager.
Remember 9-8? Who don't remember that team? There was a quarterback controversy. Remember this? There was a Carson Wentz was still there, and then Hurts was drafted.
No, that was 2020. That was in 2020.
No. I'm going before. That was the season before they started making the playoffs with Jalen Hurts at 9-8.
Oh yeah, that was 2021 when Jalen freaking Hurts became the official starter, and we traded Carson Wentz to the Colts.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about they make the playoff after him coming to the team, and it's already a quarterback battle. That's already controversy he's going to have to deal with for him to impact. And then the 9-8 season, they made the playoffs. Like, y'all talk about team, but he still willed that team to a playoff. That season, nobody gives him credit for that one. Everybody want to talk about, when they finally got A.J. Brown and they got these other guys, but that was a process. Jalen Hurts had made the playoffs before all this happened. He made the playoffs before all this happened. So what do you mean it's the team he has? He made the playoffs before all this happened. And when he gets the team that every quarterback wants to have, he gives you 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. He gives you an MVP season. And then the season after that, they still was trying to, he still was in the MVP race. It's just the last 5, games that was like the catastrophe. They took him out of that. But Jalen Hurts, that season was playing hurt, man. Like, he was getting up in pain. He couldn't even run the same, but he still was running. This quarterback it's quarterbacks that get hurt, right? They don't even want to do certain stuff so they can stay on the field. Jalen Hurts was still running in pain. Like, he was still making the decision to run. Not because they were coming after him, because he thought it was a smart play. As a hurt quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I think people crazy, man, talking about Jalen. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's really funny now because it seems like, it's the classic case of the hater. You got to have the more hate. You can't have, unless you have haters, you're nothing.
Yeah.
It's the classic case. Because he's quiet, he don't talk bad to nobody. He ain't even. Well, he did talk shit to that one person who said, what did he say? The dude hit him, and he was like, "Quit coming out here like that. You're gonna get hit." And Jalen said, "That's what I want you to do." He had made a running play, and dude was like, "Don't come out here, Jalen. That's what I want you to do." It was a snow game. It was like, yo,
yeah,
Jalen Hurts, yeah, man. It's one of them guys. He one of those guys, man. Next week. We're going to get on the offensive line.
Yep.
We're going to get into the offense
next week.
Get into the offense. There are different, things that come out. It will update you on anything that comes Eagles. I mean, podcast people, because they're like stars now. A lot of them making their runs. You know, you got the exciting mics. You got Nolan Smith, people, Jalen Carter.
Hold on, before we get to anything, didn't you text? You did text me and said something about the link.
Oh, my bad. The flare that was at the link. Listen, man. Everybody, hope everybody all right. I don't know. You know, them things be crazy. Football ain't the craziest sport, man. That's crazy fans out there when it comes to that sport, man. You know, it was just, you know, things going on and everybody was out there, but it was like a flare. It wasn't good thing. It wasn't like a fire, big fire, but it was a flare, and it kind of got crazy though. The flare was trying to light stuff up, and you know, it's crazy right there. But yeah, man. Good thing everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Blitz take crew, man, and just be careful out there, Philadelphia.
Exactly.
If you're in Philly, it's the energy, sports energy. The fans can be crazy doing anything, man. Yep. Hopefully, the Phillies will do their thing, man.
Exactly. And with that, that's all. Unless you have anything else on your mind, leader, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna hit y'all. We're gonna update you on what we're gonna talk about right now. But we do know the offensive line will be the position we will update on. Another thing I wanted. Asante Samuel Jr. Listen,
go ahead.
Asante Samuel Jr. There's rumors about it. The rumor that sticks on to that is that Asante Samuel Jr., the Eagles talked about him. They talked about him early on last year. They were talking about Asante Samuel Jr. And he knows that name was interested. And don't think that the Eagles have always trying to get better. There's no question about it. But do you see that the Eagles didn't even draft high on cornerbacks, or the Eagles didn't even, not really, of course they're asking questions to see this. And like I said, Jalen Ramsey talked about playing safety. Remember, Justin Simmons wanted to come to the Eagles. The Eagles haven't talked about Justin Simmons. I want y'all to know that real quick. Notice that Justin Simmons wants to come to the Eagles. The Eagles wanted him last year, and then all of a sudden he went the other way, whatever this and that. And Justin Simmons is the one that's making the pitch. They're not really the secondary position. Only the safety position is one they were talking about, like trying to upgrade. They've been trying Cooper DeJean at the safety position just to have that flexibility. Jai Alexander, no, that wasn't going to happen. But Asante Samuel Jr., that what I want to say is that, like I said, if the Eagles feel that strong about him, it could happen. But like Tyreek Hill, like they like Moro Ajamo. Trey Hendrickson was never a fast go get, like they had to have a defensive end. They're very confident on the guys they develop. Remember, they're saying no weaknesses without all these additions y'all talking about them making. They're saying the Eagles have no weakness with all these additions that people are like, oh, Trey Hendrickson. I like Trey Hendrickson. And, of course, they would go after that. They went after Myles Garrett. But it was Myles Garrett.
Right.
They were going after Myles Garrett. I mean, that's different. That's a different upgrade. That's a totally different upgrade, Myles Garrett, you know. So, but you see, they wasn't going for the big money. What? You know who they wanted to pay all this time? Jalen Carter.
Yep.
Even before Myles Garrett. That's always been on the table. So I just think the Eagles, when they drafted, you know what the Eagles draft for? They draft for best player available.
Yep.
Of course, they got to help them, but they're looking for the best player available. Jahai Campbell. When they got Cooper and Quinyon, they wanted to, remember we said they needed the cornerbacks to be upgraded. They went right out and got it. Who does that the first year and drafted? Who does that? Howie Roseman. Like, who does that? So the Eagles, you're watching something good with the Eagles, man. These guys, they're ready to be a team, to be a dynasty. Even if you say, no, if you make that assumption, right? When you look at everything they have,
right, you're
not wrong that they could be a dynasty. This is 2 out of the last 3 years they've been to the Super Bowl. They've won the Super Bowl twice in the last 8 years? Twice. Been there 3 times. This is why you can say that about the Eagles. This is not, they're talking crazy. That's hard to do that. Well, we know that's hard to do that. We talk Kansas City, it was hard to go 3-peat. It's different. The Eagles are next. They're next for the ones you to say they're going to do it. They're the next ones. They just are the team. What are you going to say? Before I end this, what are they going to say? You got to stop Barkley.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts has proved to you. It's crazy. He's proved to you himself. He can bring you back in games. He's himself.
Yeah.
So many different games. And then you look at AJ Brown, 1-on-1. They tell me, oh, Justin Jefferson. What about Jamal? No, AJ Brown, the best receiver in football. You cannot. He's the most physically imposed. You can 1-on-1. It is impossible to mess with JJ Brown. And then you forget about Devontae Smith, which is crazy. It's like having Marvin Harrison right there. Like you could just throw to him and he can just, Odell Beckham hands.
Yep.
I like, what are you going to do? Okay, you got a great defense. You got a great elite defense. Might be the number one, but you still got to go against that offensive line. I'm just saying, what if we be number 5 this year? Because it's going to be like that. We're going to be top 5. I'm not going to predict number 1. We had it. We can get it. But I'm going to say top 5 for sure. But when you have that defense, and this has been proven each year, you have to go against that offensive line. It's going to prove itself every time. So I can make that assumption that you're not going to be able to stop the offensive line. Because every year they are their offensive line. I'm just saying. So when people talk about Super Bowl and repeat, that's all I'm trying to say. Nolan Smith is only in his second year off coming up. He's ascending. Jalen Hunt, second year. Moro Ojomo, second year. Jalen Carter ain't started to get how good he gonna get. That's scary as hell. Jordan Davis, he's lost weight, ascending. Quinyon Mitchell's first year. Cooper's, that was their first year, man. Crazy first year. And then you're talking about, well, Reed is just going to always be the X factor. It's always going to be the X factor, man. Always going to be the X factor. So I just think that team largely will be that team for a long time, for a real long time. I just think if they're not, this is my prediction, next 5 years, next 7 years, 3 Super Bowls.
There you go.
And that's a fair assumption. Like, I think they'll win again next year. Will they win 3 in a row? They could. But if they're not going to the Super Bowl, they're going to be in the NFC, the Conference Championship or the Super Bowl. I just think that's that type of team. Conference Championship or the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, you can't say Hurts gets hurt. Hurt can be hurt and don't be hurt. It be in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say the quarterback gets hurt a lot. Saquon Barkley had the most healthiest year he's had ever.
Ever.
You remember when he was running, they said, I forgot, it's crazy numbers before he gets contact. Before he gets contact, he gets something like 7 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. Before they even touch him, he's already getting up like 4 yards, I think. Man, it's crazy. Like, they ready for it, man. They ready for it, Coquette.
Exactly. So with that, y'all, listen, man, we hate to skip and chat, but we got to scat. We'll be back next week for the O-line talk, for more Eagles news and updates. So for any final thoughts, leader, before we wrap up?
All I want to say is can't wait for the ring ceremony. We almost there, y'all. Almost time for the season to start, the first preseason. So I just want to say, everybody stay safe out there. Stay cool. It's hot. It's here. It is here, man. So just stay cool out there from Blitz Stay Crew. What's up to Simone Stanley, everybody out there, Lloyd Brunson, Alex Wright, Steve Roth, everybody doing their thing. Hardcore Sports Network, Mitch Kovsky. We out, y'all.
Yep. And with that, fly, Eagles fly, go Birds. Salute to the leaders of Broad Street. Let's go. Fly,